I just sued Facebook for $12,500 and odds are I'm probably gonna win. I actually just got out of court right here and the judge is going to be mailing his verdict within the next few weeks. If you want to replicate what I did, more power to you. Now, I'm not gonna overpromise anything. I don't want you to end this video and think I'm gonna be $12,000, $500 richer. No, because in my particular case, I am an entrepreneur. I make a lot of money off of Facebook and clients and I communicate with constituents over Facebook and I was not able to do that for 9 months. If you're wondering what error I had, it was the dreaded lock loop error. If you want to watch my other YouTube video on that, I replicate it for you guys and I accumulated a list of over 100 other people who've experienced this exact same error. And so if you can prove that you've actually lost revenue, then you can go to small claims court. You don't need a lawyer. You don't need to fly anywhere. You can do it on Zoom, most likely. I'm not trying to overpromise anything here, but odds are you'll probably be able to win. It's fairly, I don't want to say easy because I would say it does take a few hours of preparation to get your evidence binder together. And that what I would say was the most work. The actual paperwork, submitting the small claim stuff, just go through ChatGPT and they'll walk you through. Again, not everything that Chat says is accurate, so use common sense. But eventually I was able to follow this checklist and I just had my hearing right now. It lasted maybe 30 minutes or so. Most of it was just waiting around. But it's kind of cool that you and I can kind of stick it to the big man and walk away with a little bit of compensation for the damages that have been incurred. Now, for me, I lost a lot of money, a lot more than the $12,500. And if you're wondering where I get that number, that's the maximum that you can sue for in small claims court in San Mateo County. And that's the key. You have to go to San Mateo County. Because that's what it says in their terms of service. They say on page 9, section 4, they say if you're going to do a lawsuit, then you need to do it in San Mateo County, which is really funny because the only argument that they had against me was you can't sue us because it says in our terms of service that you signed away liability and you promised not to seek damages. And yet in section 4, they say, by the way, if you choose to sue us, you have to do it in San Mateo County. It's like, what a bunch of silly beans. Okay, so in case you're wondering who represented them, it was not an attorney or a lawyer, which legally I don't think you can have an attorney in small claims court. This guy was just an employee. He was a lead tech. He was very nice. As a matter of fact, he even apologized and he said, I'm sorry that you experienced this issue. We have billions of users and there are issues all the time. Now that is fantastic because right when he said that, I was like, man, I've got it. I've got them because they just acknowledged that there is an issue, right? That they can no longer backpedal and say, no, Bo, you weren't logging in correctly. What you saw was just a one-time error. No. He admitted it. I was like, yes, but the only thing he had was, well, you can't sue us because we have limited liability and you agreed to the boilerplate terms. To which the judge, when he asked me, he said, what's your response to them? And I said, look, a giant sheet of terms of service that nobody reads and you just scroll down and click agree to, a giant boilerplate terms of service should not shield a company or a corporation from mistreating its customers. I said, that's just not fair at all. And that's where I left it. And then he said, okay, all right, you'll see my decision within the next few weeks. And that was it. It just ended. No one responded to me. The employee didn't respond to me. Nothing. It was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I got my point across. So a lot of you have experienced this lock loop for over 9 months. And I say that because I'm at the 9-month mark. I eventually did get my account back, but only until I reached out to our Attorney General here in the state of Washington. Back then it was Bob Ferguson, and I would never vote for him ever because he's horrible with people's rights. But Meta evidently does get a little paranoid when they receive a notice from an attorney general of a state. And so at that point, they finally escalated it, even though they closed 5 cases and I spoke with over 20 people at Meta and they offered no resolution whatsoever. It drove me crazy. At one point, I even purchased the Oculus which unlocks phone support. And at 2:30 a.m., 2:30 in the morning, I spoke with a very nice Meta employee. And I said, look, I need to log into my Oculus with my Facebook account, but it's locked. Can you unlock it? And then I was on the phone for about an hour. At the very end, you could just hear the desperation in his voice. And he just said, I'm sorry, sir. I cannot help you. I need to go now. So even after talking with someone, if you think that someone on phone support is going to help you, they're not. They're not. You need to play with heavy hitters here. Go to the Attorney General. Don't try the BBB. Stop with all of the cases and the support unless you've already tried that already. Stop with different devices. All sorts of different things. Again, you can watch my YouTube video of the lock loop. It's just infuriating, especially when you have a business that you rely upon. And it just drives me batty. So hopefully I will be $12,500 richer in the next month or two, which I would rather not have that. I would rather actually have my Facebook account because I made a lot more than that over 9 months through my Facebook avenue. So that's it, guys. Don't lose heart. Keep fighting. And yes, I know it's just Facebook and you might think, Bo, this is a first world problem. It's just social media. But when your business actually relies on it, that's when you're like, okay, this is some unethical behavior. Facebook, it's time to actually pay up.